crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
How did you first get involved with this one, and what was it that appealed to you about doing this?
I first got involved when I was given an audition for a supporting role in the film, and I put myself on tape on my phone. I recorded my audition and I sent it in to production and casting. And that night, the director and the producer and the people at New Line, and they had seen the tape and they all conferred and said, we feel like actually he's Shazam, and they hadn't cast the role yet. So then, you know, that was on a Friday night, and by the next Friday, after a series of conversations and other tests and auditions and all that jazz, I was cast as Shazam. So it was quite a quick process once I started doing the whole process.
Peter Safran, who produced it, I'd done a movie, a small Spanish movie with him in Barcelona, would you believe? So we went back as kind of friends, and he rang me up because I think he realised, having seen Savannah and the plans for it, that I would be good casting for it. And I suppose the Warner Brothers guys were okay with it because I'd been in Green Lantern and played Sinestro, so I had a bit of tradition in the DC universe, and I think the combination of those two things and the fact that I think he's eminently suited to what I bring to anything is probably the reasons why.
Are you much of a comic book guy? Did you know much about the character from comic books?
Well, I was a comic book kid growing up and still do read some graphic novels and whatnot here and there, but I was not really that aware of the character, other than like the archetype of the boy who has the magic word who becomes a superhero. But of course, when I was auditioning for the role, I was diving deeper into that and researching it. And as I did, I really fell in love with it. The movie Big from the 80s has always been one of my favorites, and I always hoped maybe I'd get to do some role where I get to be the kid in me, you know? And this was like, wait a minute, I get to do that and I get to have superpowers? Like, the whole situation is so groovy.
I didn't know Shazam before. I don't think many people do. And ironically, he's one of the original, 1939, I think the first comic was, and he outsold Superman at the time when it was Captain Marvel, owned by Fawcett Comics, which is a bit confusing because obviously now there's a Captain Marvel that Marvel have, and our Captain Marvel, if you like, became Shazam, that's now owned by DC. So I do know a little bit about the comics now, yeah, because the wonderful thing called the internet means you can do your research, and the more you delve into it, the deeper and more complicated you realise this world is. And I now understand why the fans are so obsessive about it, because they're great stories, amazing characters, and they just, it's a huge world that's being created.
It's quite a light-hearted take on the superhero genre compared to some of the more gritty things. Was that one of the things that kind of appealed to you about it?
I mean, I definitely think that is something that is appealing for sure. I think that because of really the whole DNA of this character and the franchise and the movie and the script that was so excellently written by Henry Gayden and various other writers who contributed to it, we have a very unique story because it's a 14-year-old boy in a superhero body. There is no other superhero like that. There is no other superhero. There are a few other superheroes that are younger and that are also stoked to be superheroes, but most of them are adults who are very serious and brooding and kind of constantly in this state of being very somber about the state of the world. Billy Batson is not that. It's just he's just a kid and he's having fun and he's learning about himself and trying to find where his family is and where he fits in.
Did you get to, because there's always a lot of secrecy on films like this, did you get to see a whole script in the first place, or?
A lot of secrecy. You get sent it originally on I've read it on my computer, but if the cursor moves off the script or you don't move a page for about 20 seconds, the whole thing immediately goes blurry and you have to reconnect with the script. You never get a hard copy. And on the set, when we did get any new pages or changes, you'd be given them. One person's job was to give you those pages and collect them at the end of the day. Really? And if you didn't have them to hand over at the end of the day, there would be questions asked.
Yeah. The outfit, the suit, is quite a look.
Yeah.
What's that like to get into and out of every day?
A process. It's about, I don't know, it was like a 10-minute. We got it down toward the end. Me and my incredible costumers got it down quicker and quicker, but I'd say, like a 10-minute process to get it on and maybe a 3-minute process to get it off. It's just, it's very tight. You know, when you're wearing something that's that tight and needs to be kind of perfectly situated on all parts of your body because there's certain seams and lines and, you know, the aesthetic of these, they're built for the look of them more so than the practicality of them. So, you know, you got to make sure that it's all dialed in.
Some people actually thought that the suit was padded when the first kind of photos started.
But it is. I mean, that's not, I mean, yeah, of course people thought that. It's so silly. I mean, you know, what I understand that, you know, everybody needs to have something to complain about or talk about online, and that's what drives a lot of that kind of stuff. It's really too bad about that. But, I mean, how many other superhero movies do people have to look at to know that there's augmentation in these suits? We're not that, by the way, all of these actors aren't busting their ass and working really hard to put on actual muscle that is all underneath the suit. I've been killing myself 6 days a week in the gym and eating far more chicken and broccoli than a human being should be eating, by the way. Entire populations of chickens have been massacred just for my stomach to process them. And not to mention the tribes and tribes of the broccoli people who have also gone up in flames with those chickens. But no, look, I put a ton of work into this, but this is also supposed to be a kid's somewhat, you know, what Billy's idea of what a superhero would be in a way. You know, it is what it is.
So just finally then, there's been talk about a Black Adam standalone movie and possibly a sequel to this. Is it something you'd be interested in going back and doing more of?
Yeah, I love being in this universe, and you know the fact that there is a further life for all of the characters. I would love to get involved in something, yeah, because I love the character of Dr. Zavanna, and I feel really proud that I've created that guy on film. So it would be great to be able to take him somewhere else. And the little credit sequence has that Easter egg of him meeting Mr. Mind. So who knows?
This is proof of authenticity. Super strength. Electricity manipulation. Hyperspeed.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
His name is Captain Sparklefingers.
No, it's not. That's not my name.
Chosen one.
Oh, you're like a bad guy, right?
You literally did the opposite of what a superhero is supposed to do.
You're him. You're the hero.
You're welcome for not getting robbed.
I'm Batman.
Get him back in!
How old are you?
Basically 15.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, you electrocuted a bus and almost killed these people.
And then I caught it!
You leave tall buildings in a single bound.